There was a time when Phil Foden was the golden boy of English football, a two-time PFA Young Player of the Year, the youngest player to make a Premier League debut for Manchester City at just 17, and the youngest player in league history to win 6 titles. Just last season, he capped it all by being named the PFA Player of the Year. On paper, the trajectory of his career has been nothing short of meteoric. I mean, if Pep Guardiola, a man who has coached the likes of Messi, Ronaldinho, David Silva, says you are the most talented player he's ever seen, then you are really some fine player, eh? But looking at Foden now, the question now is, has all the success gone to his head? Because the Phil Foden we're seeing this season is far from the player who dazzled the Premier League not too long ago. He's made only 6 Premier League starts out of a possible 15. And in 4 of those starts, he's been subbed off due to poor performance and lack of stamina to last the entire 90. So, what's going on? Is it burnout like he's already come out to explain? Or did a simple loss of form give him a very high level last season? Or maybe a lack of focus? Or is there something deeper? To understand Foden's struggles, let's rewind to September 2020, during the height of the pandemic. England had just played Iceland in the UEFA Nations League, and Foden, alongside Mason Greenwood, made headlines, not for their performance on the pitch, but for their antics off it. The duo had broken strict protocols, sneaking 2 Icelandic girls into the team hotel. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. Reports revealed that Foden had been chatting with local girls days before the England squad even arrived in Iceland. One of the girls, Nadia, would later reveal how Foden bragged about his football accolades back then, including his Guinness World Record as the youngest Premier League appearance maker at the time during their encounter. Adding further that Foden even found it offensive when she first said she didn't know the name Phil Foden. But back to the incident itself, the fallout was immediate. Both Foden and Greenwood were fined $1,360 each and handed bans from the national team for several months. In his apology, Foden promised that he had learned a valuable lesson and would grow from the experience. But did he? Not quite. The Iceland incident wasn't an isolated one. In fact, it revealed a pattern. Deep digging shows that Foden's indiscipline started long before he made his senior England debut. In 2019, when he was with the under-21, he reportedly tried to meet up with Lucy Jones, now a makeup artist, during a trip to Turkey. The meeting never happened, though. Lucy found out that Foden had a girlfriend and a child and backed out. But knowing Foden, you just know he replaced Lucy with a new beauty to whet his insatiable appetite. Ah, yes, his family life, a family man at only 24. Phil Foden has been in a long-term relationship with Rebecca Cook, the mother of his 3 children. Their first child was born in January 2019, when Foden was just 18. At the time, Foden said that becoming a father had changed him, made him more responsible, but the evidence suggests otherwise. Even Rebecca seems resigned to Foden's antics. When Lucy Jones came out with the exposé about Foden's behavior, Rebecca's response was chilling. She accused Rebecca of mithering. "Don't worry, you're not special. He's been doing this with other girls." That's what she said. Rebecca's comments seemed at first to mirror a woman who was protecting her man from media backlash. But looking back, they reek of a woman who's used to his young football partner sneaking out of their matrimonial home every now and then. And now, at just 24 years old, Foden finds himself in a precarious position. The weight of being a family man, 3 kids, a long-term partner, and a high-pressure career appears to be too much for him. For all his talk about being focused and responsible, his actions paint a different picture. Here's the thing. For an athlete, discipline is everything. And discipline doesn't just mean showing up for training or eating the right foods. It's about how you live your life off the pitch. It's about the choices you make when no one is watching. Spending too much time in the bedroom chasing girls might sound trivial to some, but it has serious consequences for an athlete. Excessive sexual activity can lead to physical fatigue, lack of focus, and even hormonal imbalances. For a player like Foden, whose game relies on sharpness, agility, and endurance, these effects can be disastrous. It's no coincidence that this season, he's been subbed off for lack of stamina in several games. It's not just the 69 games he played last season that have burned him out, like he's already suggested. It's everything else he's been doing off the pitch, with women. And the City are feeling the effects. Without Foden firing on all cylinders, they've struggled to maintain their usual dominance. Their attack lacks the spark and creativity that Foden used to provide. Meanwhile, fans and pundits are left wondering, where is Phil Foden, who lit up the Premier League just months ago? The sad reality is that Foden's story isn't unique. Many young players, after tasting early success, fall into the trap of complacency and distractions. They forget what got them to the top in the first place: hard work, discipline, and focus. Foden still has time to turn things around. He's only 24 after all. But the clock is ticking. If he continues down this path, his career could become yet another cautionary tale. A story of wasted potential and unfulfilled promise. For now, though, Foden remains a shadow of the player he once was. And as City's struggles deepen, so too do the questions about their once brightest star, once dubbed the Stockport Messi.